Brian Fritz here with NXT superstar Bianca Belair as we're getting ready for NXT to be on USA Network live every Wednesday night for 2 hours. So what was your reaction when you found out the news that NXT would be going to live cable TV?
I was excited, and I think trying to figure out another word besides excited that I can use, but that's just the best word that I can explain. Just being excited for the world to see what NXT is and who we are. We've been putting on great takeovers and great shows, and we're excited for a bigger audience and a bigger stage to see who NXT is and what we're all about.
I think you are in a unique situation to some extent too, because this is where you began your wrestling career. So over these last 3 years, you've grown as much as NXT has, I'm sure.
Yes. When I first came here 3.5 years ago, I had no idea what to expect. I didn't have any experience at all, so it's great to be a part of NXT now, with it now being on the USA Network and being a part of the journey, and having this be, I'm a homegrown talent, and having this be my home, and I feel like I am NXT. I am a product of NXT. I am a product of this great performance center facility. I'm a product of the great trainers and the great coaches. So to be a part of this journey and now be a part of NXT, being on the USA Network, is very special.
And I think one of the things that people that come through NXT talk about is it feels like there's a special, I don't know if you want to call it a badge of honor or a special bond that comes with it. Where does that exactly come from your perspective? I think it's one thing to look at it from an outside perspective, but it's another to actually be a part of it.
I think NXT is just special. You know, now we were known as the developmental brand. Now we are the third brand. And it's special because if you look at Raw and you look at SmackDown, majority of those competitors and the talent there, they all started here in NXT. So I think that's where that camaraderie comes from, is feeling like you're a part of something that is so special, is where it all starts. And then you look and you see where everyone else is, and you see all the potential and all the possibilities. And now that NXT is on the same level with Raw and SmackDown being on the USA Network, it's just something that I think is very close to all of us.
You've already had some big matches, especially on takeover events, and like you said, you've only been doing this for 3.5 years. Has it felt like it's gone by quick, or does it feel like it's still it's taken a long time to get to this point?
I feel like it's gone by quick. This is probably the longest job that I've ever had, being 3.5 years, but it doesn't feel like 3.5 years. But I think that if it's gone by so quick because I'm having fun doing it. This is a job that I love, and I love what I'm doing, and I love putting everything that I've put into it. And I think that everything that has happened along the course of these 3.5 years is what's supposed to happen, because I deserve everything that's come my way. I've worked very hard being here, and I'm happy with my position in NXT, and I couldn't ask for anything other than what's happening now.
How do you take that approach, though, when you know that this is a job, but it's also a job that you have fun in as well? So how do you balance the two? Because there's, like any other job, there's good days and there's bad days.
I just try to always have a good perspective. I know a lot of people come in here into NXT, and some are very, very young, and they haven't had an actual job before here. And I will say I've had jobs before here, and I know that a lot of times you don't exactly get to make money at what you love to do. A lot of times you have to do what you have to do to make money, and then what you love to do is your hobby. I know that I'm very fortunate to be able to make money at what I love to do. And along with that, I know that we hold this responsibility of being role models, because a big part of our job is entertaining and putting smiles on kids' faces. So that right there also brings purpose to me. So it makes this more than just a job.
Was there a point where you really felt like, I've been doing this for a little while now, I really feel like it's starting to really soak in, I'm really starting to get it?
I think, I've been doing this for 3.5 years, but I talk to a lot of the coaches, and I always ask them, at what point will I feel like I know what I'm doing, in the essence of, like, at what point will I feel like I don't have anything else to learn? And they always tell me, with this business, you always have something to learn. Learning never stops. So I feel like I know that, and I'm going to continue to always search for knowledge and talk to coaches and pull whatever I can from whoever. But I think that it started clicking with me. Probably the Mae Young Classic was the very first time when I had the realization of, I'm good at this. This is going to be something that is, I can see where my potential can go. And that was the very first time I realized, like, okay, you're going to stick with this because you're going to go somewhere with this.
Have you always had an outgoing personality like what we see?
I've been pretty outgoing my whole life, but I wouldn't say that I was when I was younger, I'm not going to say I was an introvert, but I was in high school, like I was the kid that was I was quiet. I smiled a lot. They always called me like Smiley. I smiled a whole lot, but I was very quiet into myself, and it wasn't really an introvert. I was just more quiet. Like when I got married this year with my husband, my brother stood up and did a speech saying how she's, I don't know if it's because of you, like my husband, or if it's because of WWE. Like her personality is just so big now, and I'm more open now, I think. Yeah.
So obviously people know about you and know about your hair as well. How long have you been growing your hair out, Brenna?
All my life.
All my life. Has there ever been a point where you really thought about cutting it?
No, can't cut it, especially now.
Well, especially now,
I'm stuck with it now. I remember someone said, like, I hope you like that braid because you're stuck with it. Yeah, no, never. I don't want to cut it. It's a part of me.
It is.
It's who I am.
And I think it's something that people identify with you. I mean, who else could ever think that hair could be such a weapon?
Exactly. I didn't know that it was going to be a weapon until I used it in a match with Ruby Riott, and it made this huge noise, and it kind of surprised me. And that's when I realized, like, oh, this is something that's going to stick. Can be used as a weapon. So
yeah, I think it surprised everybody that's watching as well. You're like, it sounds like a whip out there.
Yeah, everybody's like, what's in there? What do you put in it? It's nothing. I don't put anything in it.
It's just homegrown.
It's homegrown.
It's what you do.
It's Bianca Belair magic.
So when it comes to now with NXT taking this next step, what are your thoughts about where the women's division is right now? Shayna Baszler's coming up on a year as champion. Mm-hmm. She's going to be facing Candice LeRae, obviously, on the show. But there's so many other women that have already come through NXT that sometimes come back.
Yeah.
There's people like yourself. There's other women that are coming up. What's your thoughts about the women's landscape, especially in NXT right now?
Well, I think that our roster is so deep. We have so much talent on our roster. And it's so many women backstage that need to be highlighted, and it's so many. It's with being on the USA Network, it's going to open up so many opportunities for a lot of us to be highlighted and be showcased. With takeovers, it's usually always just one title match, one women's match. And this last takeover, we had Io Shirai and Candice LeRae, and it wasn't a title match. And I think that was the door that opened to show that we have so many women that we just need more opportunities. And so I think that this is a great moment. We couldn't ask for any better placement to be than on the USA Network to showcase all the talent that we have. And I'm just excited for everyone to see who we are, what we do, and for all the women to be showcased. I'm really excited for tonight, for the title match between Shayna Baszler and Candice LeRae. I wish I was in it, but at the same time, whatever happens tonight, I'm prepared for the next opportunity afterwards. So.
And I think there's going to be plenty of other opportunities for you in the future.
Thank you.
Thanks. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.